was able to insert himself into the process very, very smoothly and provide great insight throughout. You know, sometimes not to change the direction of the song too much, but rather just to kind of like get the best out of us, and then in some instances to change the direction of the song was his prerogative. Hola, saludos, soy Paul de Interpol y están escuchando Indie Rocks. It was interesting. I was in Edinburgh at the beginning of the process. Then I started working on bass lines and vocal ideas to, you know, the tracks that Daniel was sending. And then when I felt comfortable with a bass line, sometimes I'd send it with the bass. Sometimes I'd suggest that Sam just react to what Daniel had sent, and then I'll do a bass line in reaction to what he does on drums. So I think actually that's a key element to what makes this record sound a little bit different. And then also, because I was working on vocal ideas at home alone rather than in the room with Sam being very loud, I kind of wound up approaching the vocals a little bit more quietly, which I think informed some of the melodic aspects of the record. I think that it imposed certain limitations on our writing that were beneficial in a way. You know, we found a positive in that situation, which is that this one sounds different than our other records, I think, and I think that's good for a seventh record. He was amazing to work with. He's really a genius, really hears things very uniquely. He really, like, whatever language I think you speak as a musician, he can kind of like speak that language already. Was able to insert himself into the process very, very smoothly and provide great insight throughout. You know, sometimes not to change the direction of the song too much, but rather just to kind of like get the best out of us, and then in some instances to change the direction of the song was his prerogative. But I'm excited by VR. I'm excited about where that's going to go. I'm also interested in like Elon Musk's ideas about like the, you know, the Neuralink and, you know, the possibilities there. 50 years coming up, as long as we don't fuck up the whole thing and, you know, destroy civilization in the meantime. I usually come up with the titles because I do the lyrics, and this was one where that's like a starting point. If I haven't had an idea independent of the lyrics, then I'll just start looking at the lyrics and figuring out, is there a lyric that I like as a title? So the phrase "the other side of make-believe" is from the song Passenger on the record. And I think fables is like a theme on the record, the idea of like stories and fiction and, you know, storytelling over reality, for instance, is like a theme in the lyrics. So I think the other side of make-believe is sort of has that idea behind it, where it's kind of like there's a very positive human need to make up stories, and then I think there's also like a bad side of it, where like, let's say the objective reality might be that like Mother Nature kind of like had a glitch and almost exterminated, you know, humankind with a virus that just emerged out of nowhere. I think that's a very cold and frightening notion, that like it's not even a decision or an intention, it's just like an anonymous force of nature that could eradicate civilization instantaneously. I think that's a very frightening idea for a lot of people, and it's almost more reassuring to imagine that there's a grand conspiracy of intention